Hello, everyone, and welcome to our coverage of the Legends of Chima, episode 15, Ravens versus Eagles. Hooray. I think there's a little bit of background noise coming from one of you.
Might be me, but I am hearing some
I think it's
clicking.
LJ.
Okay, well, I'm coming. Okay, in that case, I'm putting the kibosh on that.
Cool.
Uh,
So, this episode was another one of those filler ones, but I think it had enough of a combo of laughable moments, both legitimately funny and also sad funny,
It was,
to
it was an
pass.
it was an interesting filler.
Here's the gist of what happened. Okay, so the Ravens are like trying to do their thing, and they find out that like on the Eagle Spire, no one owns anything. It's all shared by the tribe. So they get the bright idea that they can waltz up there and like take advantage of this and basically steal stuff. And it goes pretty well for a while there. They do steal a bunch of stuff. Problem is no one wants to buy it. And it culminates with like a fight. Basically, Razor gets angry because he's like, okay, so I just wasted my whole day doing this, and I didn't make a single bit of profit off of it. So he decides to troll Ares by stealing her diary and basically holding it for ransom.
I'm just gonna say right now, the fact that they couldn't sell anything, even though they put up some really good deals on the Eagles stuff, has to say something for the value of the Eagles themselves.
Exactly.
And
I swear,
after this episode, I have even less respect for the Eagles than I do for the Gorillas. And if you have
You
seen
literally
the
just copied
Gorillas,
LJ.
yeah.
literally, I can't believe. Okay, I swear, stop. I'll put the kibosh on tearing you to pieces right now, just to start tearing the Eagles to pieces. Bottom line, if Kahi was here, he'd sum it up like this: Eagles are communists. End story.
Pretty much. Yeah, it was a very interesting scenario. This episode was interesting in a lot of respects. First the Eagles, and then also there were like three different subplots going on in this episode. Okay, it was really strange. Like Cragger and Laval, because they're best friends now, decided to go on a joyride through Chima, and like basically a ton of characters appeared. It was like one from every tribe, plus Dom DeLarouche and Shadow Wind.
And skin it.
Yeah, it's basically every character from like the big tribe except Ferdy the fox. No foxes basically decided to show up. I think they're foreshadowing something with this, but I'll get to that later. And then the second subplot was Crueler trying to grow the flower, the mind control flower, and as if they could not be any more blatant with the drug parallels in Chima, she like decides to light the flower on fire, and I guess it triggers some kind of reaction and like some odor that basically causes her to go on like a drug induced trip, and she like goes crazy and starts hallucinating that she's an ultra bill and she's rampaging.
Which leads us to believe that Lego is giving us some very pleasant images and
No,
making some very interesting references.
Elena, it's not pleasant images, it's subliminal messages.
Shh. It doesn't matter for a druggie.
It Matt.
And
You just called everyone that listens to this druggies.
No.
and one of the things from the Eagles stuff was a book on how to grow said plant, among other plants. And Crueler finds out that the roots have even more power in them than the actual flower itself, which is why she experienced such a reaction. But basically, that they are building to her being able to reclaim the flower power, as I shall call it. Now,
No, Miso, it's the Persuada plant. The Persuada
it's
plant.
actually the Persuader plant, but it's
Actually,
gonna drop it,
alright.
so that's fine.
Okay.
So, here's the thing. Okay, this is my theory. This episode kind of gave the impression that everything in Chima is okay except for Crueler bumming around doing what she does. Nothing's going wrong. The wolves, I guess, the implication at the beginning of the episode during the recap was that the balance of Chima has been restored. So I guess they did make off with some of the wolves' chi. They just
If
didn't
they
show it.
didn't, I would have lost all respect for them. But it would have been nice if they had told us that they had made
Yeah.
off with the chi.
Exactly.
You know.
The wolves
Here's-
never appeared once
Oh.
after a streak of appearing.
Yeah, they finally got an episode without them. Here's my theory. We're nearing the end of the season. Okay? Like, we're literally about to go into the finale series of episodes. I don't know exactly how many there are. It could be 3 or it could be 5. But we're almost at the end. One of the episodes has already gotten spoiled. The title is Reunion Gone Wrong. And that can mean only one thing. That Krager's
the race.
parents return.
Oh.
And something happens. I know what they're going to do. They're going to knock the wolves back down a peg. They're still going to have them be antagonists, but they're not going to be the main ones. The crocodiles are going to be kind of, Crueller's still doing her thing. And then, boom, new antagonists in the form of scorpions and spiders for the 2014 wave of sets. I know it's going to happen. Okay? I'm calling it right now. This is what it's going to be. And they're going to probably introduce them near the end of the season and have them be the threat going forward, which is why they had such a strong feeling of camaraderie. Like, okay, the current tribes, they're all friends, but it shall not last. And we recently got a logo revealed for 2014 Chima, and it's not too different, but I'm going to throw it up on the screen regardless. And it is interesting because I don't really know what it is exactly, but I see lots of red spikes that look suspiciously like the Lego minifigure of the scorpions. It looks suspiciously like the stinger on the set. So, bring it on.
Looks like it has quite a bit of sharp barbs.
Yep.
Like, of which to stick people with.
Why, yeah. Yes, it does.
I'd love one right now.
Well, anyway. Alina, what are you snickering at?
Nothing.
She just finds it funny that this episode was so mediocre.
Yeah.
Honestly, the abruptness of Ares
Okay,
going all bonkers over the gorilla is kind of abrupt.
Rhino.
And
LJ, stop trying to hide it. You know what I'm doing. Or did, too.
You're right. You're right. I do.
Alina just sent a long message to us in private going, persuade a plant, persuade a plant, persuade a plant, persuade a plant.
Over and over.
I didn't even realize that Skype messages had limits.
Yes, they do.
And now you do.
But yes,
so
that did kind of come out of left field, considering before she didn't even give him the time of day, and now suddenly she's,
Yeah.
But, hey, maybe they're going somewhere with it. We'll see.
I just, I guess, but I'd like to see it a little bit more progress.
You could be subtle about it, but Chima has no subtlety. Basically, that was the episode. It was not one of their worst. It was also not one of their best. It's kind of, I've noticed the last couple episodes, there are snippets of plot development, but it's kind of slowed down. We had like a couple good episodes for a while there. Okay, whatever you're doing, if you're still copying messages, that's coming across on recording.
That's LJ.
Okay, stop. Now, basically,
not doing anything.
It started off okay, filler. Midway through the season, it was great. Now it's slowed down a bit, and it's not as bad as the first half, but it's also not as great as the middle, so here's hoping they can deliver a strong finale. But that is not for a couple of weeks away, so. Alina, what did you think of this episode?
All I could think about after I saw that whatever the eagle's name was had a crush on the rhino, all I could think was a rhino and eagle hybrid.
Yes.
Would it even be able to fly?
It's a very good question, but not one which we will answer today. And I think on that note, we shall end this.
Yeah, I mean it's just a bridge episode, I think, and
Yeah.
It is.
still want to know who certain people are. Cough, cough.
Again,
Wind,
they're
shadow.
dragging this mystery quote unquote on for way too long. But that's gonna be like one of the in season reveals. I know it. So
Yeah.
we'll see what happens. But until then, thank you for listening to our coverage of Legends of Chima, episode 15, Ravens versus Eagles. We will see you all next time.
Yep.
Farewell.
Bye.